Good afternoon, viewers and followers of Sararights TV. You're most welcome for our news covering the stories around us. Let's begin with the top stories. Open medical waste dumping at Tuajiji raises public concern in Bidibidi. Bagisu gears up for Imbalu 2026 as 5 initiates begin sacred journey to manhood. Spain spending troughs as thousands enter enclave of Ceuta from Morocco. Let's have the stories into details. Residents of Tuajiji village in Bidibidi settlement, Yumbe district have raised concern over the alleged open dumping of medical waste at Tuajiji Health Center 3, sharing children are at risk of picking used syringes, broken drug bottles and other hazardous materials. The residents claim medical waste from the maternity, outpatient and pharmacy department is being disposed of in open areas instead of being treated and managed through the designed waste disposal facilities at the health center. Community leaders said they have repeatedly raised the matter with the health facility management, but no action has been taken, leaving residents worried about possible exposures to infections including HIV and hepatitis. Tuajiji LC1 chairperson Rasol Ijosiga said children have been seen collecting medical waste and playing with used items discharged near the facility. Children play with syringes anyhow, and if this continues, we fear diseases will spread. Bagisu gears up for Imbalu 2026 as 5 initiates begin sacred journey to manhood. Sacred ritual at Bumutoto Cultural Ground have marked the official beginning of 2026 in on the 3-day journey that culminates in public circumcisions on Saturday. The historic Bumutoto Cultural Ground in Arua City came alive on Thursday as final preparation gathered pace for the official launch of 2026 in with 5 days beginning the sacred journey into manhood through age-old Bagisu traditions. The ritual, conducted by clan leaders and cultural custodians, marked the formal start of the initiate transition into adulthood and signaled the beginning of the biennial circumcision session that will unfold across the Bagisu sub-region in the coming months. The ceremony began with the 5 initiates walking in the procession to a nearby stream, carrying traditional clay pots where they fetched water before returning to the cultural ground. Bagisu elders described the open ritual as the point at which an initiate can no longer withdraw from the process. Following the rituals, the initiates were flagged off, aimed energetic Katodi drumbeat before beginning visits to relatives' homes across the community. Traditionally, relatives offer goats, chickens, and other livestock as symbol of celebration and recognition that the initiates are preparing to assume adult responsibilities, including establishing their own families. Together with sisters, aunties, and other family relatives, say they sing, dance, and accompany the initiates, offering emotional support before the public test of courage. The traditional brew prepared on Thursday will continue to mature alongside the initiate's cultural orientation. On Saturday, both journeys will culminate when the brew is ready and the 5 initiates publicly undergo circumcision at Bumtoto, officially inaugurating the 2026 Ibulamu session. The ceremony attracts thousands of initiates, cultural leaders and government officials, tourists and researchers from Uganda and abroad. Beyond serving as a rite of passage, the event has become a major cultural tourism attraction, showcasing the rich heritage of Bagisu, also known as Bamashaba, while generating significant economic activities from Arua City and the wider Bagishu sub-region. In international news, Spain sent in troops as the thousands enter enclave of Ceuta from Morocco. Spain is sending troops to bolster security in its North African enclave of Ceuta after thousands of migrants swarmed from Morocco into the territory on Thursday. At least 18 people drowned while trying to reach Ceuta. Local officials had appealed to Madrid for help after a recent rise in tempted crossing, but there were chaotic scenes on Thursday as border controls apparently broke down. Spain's Supreme Court ruled this month that migrants stopped at sea while trying to reach Ceuta of Melilla, another Spain enclave, cannot be summarily returned to Morocco. The branch prompted Italy government to say it was considering extraordinary measures, including closing the open border Schengen agreement with Spain. Italy and Spain do not share a land border, so Italy would likely need to get other European countries on board to be able to enforce this. The number of migrants attempting to reach the Spanish enclave of Ceuta had been rising for several days. Then on Thursday, thousands of people slid down concrete embankments into the sea in order to swim around the jetty that marks the border. On the Spanish side, the beaches were soon covered in rubber rings and flippers, while some migrants were celebrating their arrival. More than a dozen drowned trying. Spanish authorities have increased security around the enclave in recent years through increased surveillance barrier, reinforcement, and improved bilateral relationship with Morocco, but people continue to attempt to cross. And that brings us to the end of our news this afternoon. Before I end, let's have the recap of the top stories. Open medical waste dumping at Twajiji raises public concern in Bidibidi. Bagisu gears up for Ibulamu 2026 as 5 initiates begin sacred journey to manhood. Spain sending troops as thousands enter enclave of Ceuta from Morocco. And that brings us to the end of our news this afternoon. I am Florence. Thank you for choosing Sararights TV. Have a blessed